Hey guys, I'm just giving it a minute here. I am so happy to be with you today. All right, we have a few things that we're gonna do. I'm just gonna give it a minute. So as you come on, please put in the chat box where you're from and what brought you to today's masterclass, because in this class, for everybody that knows me, and as I, sent in my note to you, we're going to be taking a lot of action. There's going to be a lot of awareness, a lot of ahas. If you are new to me, I'm going to tell you why you need to stay here. But honestly, this masterclass is how to lose weight before the holidays even begin. We're going to be tackling a lot of the things that come up. The reason why I even created this is because so often around this time of year, schedules get crazy. There is so much that goes on, so much that takes place. And as women, we have a tremendous number of things that fall onto our plate, and amount of responsibility that we place onto ourselves that makes it quite challenging. So what we're going to do today is we're actually going to go through a variety of steps. I'm going to help you, support you in creating a plan for yourselves. But on top of that, oh, Roxanne, it's so good to see you. On top of that, what I'm going to be doing is sharing with you actual tactical tools and tips. So if you are new to me, my name is Melissa Catherine. I am a holistic nutritionist. I am an ex-fitness competitor, and I have a background in fitness. I specialize in emotional eating, disordered eating, and essentially just women that have been dieting forever that know that there has to be a better way, but just don't know what that is yet. I specialize in as well in emotional and mental mindset mastery. My background's also as a hypnotherapist and an intuitive. What we're going to be doing today, and anybody that's worked with me, anybody that's ever been in my programs or just has been following me, knows that I am very big on results. I'm very big on taking action. I'm not one for a lot of BS. And I like to keep things simple. I like to keep things so that you can action them, you can do them, and so that you can get results and apply them to your life right away, or else why are you here? So before we get started, just know that I tie in everything that I teach. I give tactical tips, things that make sense. I keep it simple, but I also address the metaphysical as well as the mindset component to things, because you've all dieted forever. Diets are all about doing. It's a very masculine thing to do, right? Tell me what to do and I'll do it. Give me a plan and I'll follow it. But it doesn't work, right? That's not life. We can't just live on a plan. So we actually need to know what are the other components? Where did this manifest from? Why is this something that I've been struggling with, but maybe my sister hasn't, or somebody else in my life, or my friends don't? What's been going on and why is this me? And then also shifting things in a metaphysical and intuitive level, which means you actually learning how to do these things for yourself, how to actually understand where your cravings coming from, because there is something. It's not just because you ate some sugar. Yes, there's a scientific result from that. And there's so much more of a mental, metaphysical. That's what we want to address. So on top of that, I'm also an international best-selling author and speaker. So, you can go to my website, you can check out more. I don't want to sit here and spend all day on my bio, but I do think it's really important for you guys to know who you're getting information from, and where it's coming from. And, credibility really makes a difference, especially because there are so many people teaching so many different things out there. It's important to know what their background is and where you're getting knowledge from. So we can only go as high as we choose to go. And in this masterclass, I hope that, and my desire and intention that I've set for you is that you come open and ready to take in everything that I'm sharing and really take time to apply what I'm teaching. So put all your other distractions away, flip those phones over, unless you're watching me on your phone, flip your phones over, use the chat box, ask any questions that you have, but flip your phones over, and also turn off everything else. Turn off the TV, get off Facebook, close all the 50 other windows that you have up, and just be really present here. That's how you're going to make the most of our time together. So, all right, let's dive in. So today we are talking about how to lose weight before the holidays even begin. I want to get you what I can before you get sucked into the spiral of the holiday madness, because that's how quick, guys, you know this, how quick you can put on weight, how quick you can get pulled out of your routine and go, I don't even know what just happened. Like 2 weeks ago, a month ago, I felt fantastic. And now I am tired. I am not fitting in my clothes. What just shifted? Now, here's the thing with that. We've all been there, right? I know I have a multitude of times, not since I've learned the process that I do with my clients in Weight Loss for Life, but you know, we always can go there, right? And I remember being there so many times that I was like, I don't know what's happening. So if you've been there, mention it in the chat box. I love hearing from you, and just let me know that you get what I'm saying. So again, if you have any questions, always just ask me. So instead of going back there, what I actually want to do is give you tools and tips and catch you now so that you can really have an incredible holiday season. So whether you've been struggling to lose weight, whether you're on the weight loss train and you just want to continue going strong, whether you just lost weight and gained it back and are feeling a bit defeated, whatever that is, all of this is going to support you. All right. So let's get started. So in today's masterclass, this is so, okay, there's like 50. So in today's masterclass, what I just want to tell you that you know what we're going to be covering. We're going to be covering how to end overeating in its tracks. So this is no more of you feeling ridiculously full, going to bed, waking up regretting. We also are going to talk about how to stay motivated, even with the change of the seasons, right? From fall to winter, or if you're like many people on the East Coast, you just went straight into winter. I even know we're having a cold spell here right now. I mean, I'm an East Coaster, so cold in the West Coast is not what I would call cold, but it's definitely not daily San Diego, 85 and sunny. Cope with your emotions instead of eating them. This is a really, really big one. Okay. Navigate social situations. That's eating out, that's staying in, that's cocktail parties and more. So this is a really, really powerful skill. You want to make sure that you have your notebook and a pen and are taking notes. Also, if you registered for this masterclass, I want you to know you will get a replay. Only those that are here will get the replay. It's always amazing to me when people hear that they don't show up, because we had so many people registered for this. It was crazy, the number of registrants that we have and how different that is from the actual number that shows up, because nowadays everybody loves those replays. Working out to lose flab and tone up, but most of all feel energized and strong in your body. So this is really, really important. Also, why I love when you come live, and I don't mind, I always like to go to things live, is because you guys can ask me questions and I will answer them. So that's I think one of the most powerful things that you can actually experience. That's like really getting everything that you can from any masterclass. Now, here's the other thing that I want to tell you, which I'm super excited about. Those of you that are here have an opportunity to come to my one-day live event in San Diego. So those of you that are already coming, ignore this. And those of you that don't know what I'm talking about or interested in coming, this is my one-day live event on November 8th in San Diego. And we are actually going to be taking everything that we're even doing here today and going even deeper. It's going to be transformational, experiential, fun, informative. You are guaranteed breakthroughs and ahas, unless as I'm going to do a disclaimer, I can't guarantee that, because if you're not open to it, then no ahas and breakthroughs can come when somebody's closed off to it. But if you are open to it and desiring change, this is what will do it for you. This is a one-day event. I've never offered this before. mainly what I do in these is really only done with my private clients and those in my groups. And I'm now bringing this out to public. So I'm really, really excited. My mission is to impact as many women as I can and to break them free from dieting. So if you're really ready to change, if you're ready to have the most incredible holiday season, I can say, and to shift things, I have a new private client. And she's like, I had no idea that everything could change so fast. She's been with me 3 weeks, and she just had an incredible experience with her family this past weekend. She's like, I always dreamed that it could be like this, and I had no idea. And it's hard to even speak to that. She might be like, what does that have to do with dieting? It has everything to do with it. It has everything to do with it. And it has everything to do with your relationship with yourself and your relationship with your body, your self-worth. These are all of the things that we're covering and Done with Dieting Live. So I'm going to put a link in our chat box here for anybody that has not gotten it. You can go here now and grab a ticket for only $97. So I'm so excited. I honestly cannot wait to meet everybody that's going to be there, and I would love for you to be one of those people. So going into today, let's dive right in. I have so much to go through. Are you ready? So first off, what you're going to get, like I said, is going to be tactical tips, magical tips, metaphysical, and I'm going to meet you on the emotional and the mindset. My approach to everything is holistic, meaning we're going to look at all areas of your life, because all of these impact why you eat the way that you do, why you move the way that you do, why you have the habits that you have, why you have the thoughts and the mindset that you have. And if we don't address them, then you won't change. Diets, again, are all about doing. Diets are about following that plan, which we talked about, but it's very simple. It's I'm just going to do this, and then I know I've taken care of me. When the bottom line is, you actually haven't taken care of you. You just did what you know you need to do in order for you to lose weight. So the mind knows, eat less, move more, right? Eat restricted, you will lose weight. I have a lot of women that come to me and go, I don't know how to do this any other way. The only way that I've ever lost weight is really depriving myself or restricting myself. They're blown away when they realize they don't have to do that, right? And so if you are in that space, I really want to share with you that that's not at all what we're going to be doing here today. So get excited. The first thing that we're talking about here today is how to end overeating. How to actually get yourself out of that space from when you can almost feel like you're in a trance. Now, this is so important around the holiday season. Reason being, the holidays, that's like emotional triggers left and right. It's like an emotional triggering like landmine. You know, it's like bomb here. It's like, oh, fight with my partner. You know, problem with my parents. Kids said this. I'm single. You know, I mean, you name it. It's just like everything gets thrown at you. You have to confront people you haven't forgiven, times you haven't forgiven yourself, stories that you have, not feeling like you fit in, only feeling like you fit in around your family or certain people, having to be extroverted when you're introverted, having to go to a ton of social situations, to not being invited to many and feeling left out. Every trigger that you experience is brought up. Really write this down. Every trigger that you experience is being illuminated for a reason, because it's time for it to be healed. So we always want to count that as a blessing. Every trigger that ever comes up for you is being illuminated in your life at that time, even though it can feel like there can be a bomb, and you're like, really? 3 things all at once? I want to die inside. This is too heavy. This is too much, right? But if we start addressing them and we go into them and ask why they're there, then we can actually get to the root of them. And then they get released, and then they stop coming up. They move from being a trigger. They no longer trigger you because you've healed it, right? The triggers occur from unhealed trauma. And again, really understand here, guys, when I say trauma, there's big T traumas and little T traumas. Little T traumas can just be, had a fight with somebody that stuck out to you for most of your life and you've never really gotten over it. or somebody called you fat when you were little, or a boy broke up with you, or your parents forgot to pick you up at school one day and it was traumatic. It doesn't have to be I was abused, right? So little T traumas, though, create, just almost think of it the way I'm saying it. Little T traumas, just imagine little T's kind of all in your body and in your mind that need to come up and actually get healed so that they can be erased and go away, right? So when we have these things, that's whenever you get triggered from somebody, even if you have a friend that's doing something and you're like, oh my God, she's so successful. Like, oh my God, she's so annoying. Or ask yourself, why are you jealous? Right? So we want to actually, to end overeating, we end overeating by facing what's in front of us. Truly. It's one of the most challenging things to do, to actually sit with ourselves in that moment and ask ourselves what is going on, what is transpiring, right? Because when we want to eat, it's in the absence of love. There's only two human emotions, fear and love. When we want to eat, it's because we feel less than in some way. Somewhere in there, we aren't measuring up. Something for us feels uncomfortable. If you can actually stop in that moment, even if you set a timer around dinner time, maybe dinner time and after dinner, 4 o'clock to bedtime is usually the time that the majority of the women in my community, in my Weight Loss for Life program, my private clients, struggle the most. Because in the morning they get up, they're taking care of people, they're taking care of themselves, they get to work, they're busy all day. It's in the opening, it's when they're not busy, that there's the candy jars and there's this, right? But it's always when they're home. Even if their husband goes to bed, their kids go to bed, I don't care what your relationship status is, it's that witching hour that puts you into a tailspin. And it's because that's the hour when all the worries come, all the I'm not enough, these are the areas of my life where I'm still not full, where my soul's calling out to me saying, why aren't you doing this yet? Why haven't you moved forward with that yet? What's happening over here, right? See, again, anything that isn't healed will keep showing up over and over. So we can follow diets till the cows come home. And it will work for a little bit until life happens. And then you're back where you started, or worse, wondering what happened. And then you get on another diet, and then you go back. And then you get on another diet, and you go back. So if we can actually get in the healthy habit of questioning our emotions, do you know what that is? So this is something that I do in our Weight Loss for Life program and with my private clients. It's called dating yourself. You're actually in partnership. You're in curiosity. What is that? So I want you to write down, in order to end overeating, it's by facing yourself and asking the question. And this is when we want to close our eyes and go inward and tap on our heart for mind-body connection, right? We tap so that we get out of here and actually into here. The mind has its own brain, okay? And then you want to ask, what is it that you need? What does that feeling, what is the feeling? We identify the feeling. So first we close our eyes, we tap. Close our eyes is 1, tap is 2, 3, we identify the feeling. I feel uneasy. I feel not enough. I feel anxious. I feel sad. I feel stressed. I'm lonely, right? So if you hear a word like anxious, go, what are we anxious about? Go dig deeper. There's always something there. And it's always, always around worthiness, enough, deserving, being enough, having enough credentials, having this, whatever, right? So we want to go in there. We want to question our desires. Why do you keep going up to the fridge? Why do we keep going up to the fridge? What is it that we don't want to feel? See, when we want to overeat, we want to weigh. We want to feel the weight of the food. We actually want to numb out, right? So what are you numbing from? What don't you want to feel? What don't you want to experience in that moment? What's coming up? It might just be boredom, bored. So if it's boredom, what do you want to do instead? Be inquisitive. Keep asking the questions, right? Now, here are some tactical tools for ending overeating. Take the food out of your cabinets, out of your fridge that you know are your trigger foods, that you know are the foods that have you not being able to put them down, that you know that at night they're the very thing that your mind goes, what about that popcorn? What about that jar of nut butter? What about that chocolate? What about that ice cream? What about that cereal? Whatever it is. What about those chips? Get them out of your house. And if you say, my kids need them, no, they don't. No, they don't. And there are other things that you can do, different alternatives, and finding alternatives or tastes that don't have you going for them. So if it's chips and you know you like barbecue, then go for salt and vinegar, right? There's always another way. So remember, the only excuses that exist are the ones that we create. The only limitations that exist are the ones that we allow. Really important for you to know that, okay? So when we are going into looking at overeating, a few tactical things, like I said, one, we want to remove temptation. I have this hair. I swear, every time I do a video, I have like one hair that comes into my eye. We want to remove the temptation to pay attention to your alcohol intake. I will have a lot of women write me and go, I don't know what happens, but then I end up having a glass of wine at night just to unwind, and then I have two, and then I end up eating X, Y, and Z, and I don't know, and I always vow I'm not going to do it, but then I end up doing it again. What they're really needing in that moment is a release from stress, a release from their day, a release from their responsibilities. Okay, if you resonate with that, then get in touch with what piece of you really, what is it that you need that's going to give you that release? More times than not, I find it's sleep. It's a bath. It's moving your body. But it's definitely not eating or drinking wine. So notice that. Notice your alcohol intake, and then notice what follows. Choose different restaurants than the ones that you know they have a dish that's your favorite dish that you just can't say no to. Right? We don't want to go, oh my God, yeah. So my husband and I are going to dinner, so we decided on that favorite Italian restaurant where I always overeat and can't say no to the bread basket and this. That's just a battle of wills. And unless you've gone through one of my programs, honestly, or done something of this similar nature, then you're setting yourself up for failure instead of setting yourself up for sex. That's right. Instead of setting yourself up for success. Okay, so you want to make sure you really want to look at what you're doing there. If you know you're a dessert person, like I was always a dessert person. So I started sitting there going, I'm not going to order dessert. Or if I suggest a dessert, it's going to be one that I would never want, like key lime pie. I know, it's just not my jam. It just isn't. So I'm like, it's not my jam. People are always like, it's so good. I'm like, no, a dessert that I would want would be complete decadence. People always think that I'd opt for like sorbet or like fruit pie. I'm like, no, I would want like chocolate, nut, peanut butter, marshmallow, caramel, something. Like, no, when I go for desserts, I go for desserts. I think the only one that probably sounds more on the healthier track of desserts is I love carrot cake. But no, generally I'm all about like gooey, ooey, decadent, really rich desserts. And then the other thing is pay attention to your patterns, guys. Instead of to really truly end overeating, if you know that all you do is come home, sit on your sofa and end up overeating, then go to bed or find an activity or something else to do where you don't come home until you have to go to bed. But the last thing you want to be doing is sitting on your sofa when you know that that's the very thing that has a patterned behavior of overeating, right? Because the mind only knows what you've taught it. And so far, if you've taught it that you sit, turn on the TV, and overeat, then that's what you're going to continue to do. Make sense? Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, I'm still laughing at my scheduling sex comment. All right, so the next thing that we talked about was staying motivated. How do we stay motivated even when it's cold out, right? Okay, I have a hair somewhere. I can't find it. There it is. Okay. We stay motivated even when it's cold out. There's a few things. One of them is full tough love that I want to tell you. There's a book that I've shared so many times and all over by Mel Robbins called The 5-Second Rule. And it's essentially that you can do anything in that 5-second span. But if you go beyond that, you're going to stay stuck. Okay. So when we really look at what it is that you need to do, we want to understand, one, the 5-second rule is so great in the sense that it actually out tricks your mind, because your mind's like, oh, if we could just go back to bed. If you actually go back to bed, you're going to feel more tired than when you originally woke up. So the 5-second rule is again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you have to take action. So you can count yourself backwards. I actually love this. I've told thousands of people at this point, and now even more, to try this. And I always hear positive things. And I tried it myself and it really works. So I always like to suggest things that are simple, that make sense, that work, that I've tried. The next thing that I want to tell you for staying motivated is always ask yourself, what's the alternative? If I miss this workout right now, what's my alternative? If I overeat in this moment, what's my alternative? If I'm sitting here saying it's cold out, I'd rather just go home and do this, what's the alternative? When I'm saying so write down what's the alternative. When I say what's the alternative is, what's the alternative? Who are you going to be on that other side? You miss your workout, then what happens? You end up eating more that day. You feel bad about not going. You're not as positive. You're not as happy. And you regret missing it. So do you want to be that person, or do you want to be the person that got up and created a healthy habit, stuck to it, stayed committed, stays aligned, and is one step closer to our goals? That's how you want to look at all of these things. Who do you want to be? Write that down. And I want you to take a moment right now. Who is it that you want to be? Not in 2019, now. At this moment in time. Who do you want to be that would make you proud? How do you want to feel in your body? How do you want to feel about the choices that you make? So important. So, so important. Who do you want to be right now? Describe her. Write her down. Tonight when you go to bed, I want you to reread that to yourself. Let that be what you wake up with and go to bed with. Read it when you wake up, read it when you go to bed. Let your mind marinate in that and visualize what that looks like and feels like for you. Feel it in your body, who she is, because she's you. She's just not fully actualized yet. She hasn't fully, a part of her light's been dimmed. She hasn't fully come out of her shell. She hasn't fully accepted herself and loves herself and let go of the pieces, hasn't let go of the pieces that are no longer serving her, which is why you're here. But you're her, hon. So I want you to really get clear, who do you want to be versus who you're being? Right? There's a difference. Who we're being versus who we want to be. What's out of alignment? So we want to really look at and be that person and go, what's my alternative? Am I willing to risk who I want to be on staying in bed, on canceling on myself? Am I willing to risk that? Another year, another month, another week, staying exactly where I am right now. That's up to you. But if you're here, if you registered for this, if you're on right now, then that's not what you're really wanting. That's not what your desire is. So how do we support you in staying motivated? We have to create a plan. So what I want to do, and we're going to all do this together. I don't know what's going on. There we go. What we're going to do together is I want you to write down, what is your fitness plan for the rest of this week? What are you committed to for this rest of this week in terms of moving your body? Now, I also want you to look at that, and if your answer is zero, I have no workouts planned, I've got nothing, I want to meet you where you're at, right? Because we can't achieve anything if we have to meet ourselves where we are. We can't go from I don't work out at all to I work out 7 days a week, 90 minutes, right? No, you actually have to meet yourself. So if you don't work out at all, then what we want to do is start off with, can you commit to 2 days a week for 30 minutes, right? If you're already working out 2 days a week, add on a fourth, add on a third and a fourth. If you're working out 4 days, add on a fifth, or add on time, right? Where can you challenge yourself? Where can you take yourself mentally to the next level? Because when you take yourself mentally to the next level, you'll take yourself emotionally and physically to the next level. That commitment, proving that you can show up for yourself, no matter what, even if you need to half-ass a workout one day and you get up late, but you're like, you know what, I can go for 10 minutes, go for 10 minutes. Prove to yourself the person that you want to be. Keep showing up for you. Don't make excuses. We stay motivated by staying committed to the person that we want to be. And we know that each day we get stronger in that. The other way that we stay committed, so one, what I had you do is write down, who do you want to be versus who you are now, who you're being. Who do you want to be versus who you're being? Where are the gaps? The next thing that we did is we wrote down what levels, what days are you working out and what are you doing? And then we're adding on 1 to 2 days or time, depending on your current activity level and schedule. With that, you are also going to write down the exact time and workout you're going to do and commit to it for this next week, and do the same thing this Sunday to prep for this next week, and ongoing and ongoing and ongoing. Okay? That's how we change. And then 3 weeks from now, you're gonna do exactly what I did here, and you're gonna add on more. And then 3 weeks, you're gonna add on more. And then 3 weeks, you're gonna add on more, right? As long as it works with your lifestyle, right? And the amount of time that you have for yourself. But always, again, notice excuses. Notice where you've created stories like, well, I don't have the 90 minutes, or I don't have an hour. I don't have a really nice gym or money for a gym membership, or I don't have this. We can do anything that we want to do. We create our experience. You create your reality. I'm a big proponent of 10 minutes. Do what you can, where you can, when you can. 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. It's all about moving more. Right? Movement is your sanity pill. That's your happiness pill. That's your lifeline, girl. You don't want to go without that. That's anti-aging. That's going to help you with vitality. That is everything. So what are the other ways to stay motivated? Get accountability partners. Whether it's at your gym and you sign up with a group, or you're on a Facebook group, right? In my Weight Loss for Life program, we have our group, and we run challenges. Right now, they're in a challenge where it combines fitness and mindset and food, right? And they're all in it and supporting one another. And that community is the other piece. So accountability and community will change everything. Right? When you have I have so many accountability partners for so many areas of my life, right? Because as humans, we need accountability, right? That's why I'm a coach. We just do. That's why I have a multitude of coaches that I work with to take me higher. As humans, if you look at anybody that's successful, they have coaches. Oprah, Obama, oh my God, Trump. We're not going to talk about Trump, but I'm not saying anything about politics. I'm just saying I don't know what his team of advisors looks like. But, generally anybody in office, actors, honestly, writers, you name it, there is that level of people always love to call me when I'm doing videos. Always. It's like they have a little radar, like she's online right now. So I just wanted to tell you that accountability is king. Whether that's your friends, family, just random people that you don't know, getting into different groups, programs, coaching, any of that, accountability will change everything for you. That's how change happens. It doesn't happen on your own. It happens when you're committed and in the daily practice of taking care of you, right? And then the other piece to that, like I said, what comes with that is that community and that accountability. So the next piece to this that we want to talk about is how to cope with your emotions. So this is something that took me a long time to learn. Hence why I have programs around it, because it's honestly, it's challenging to do on your own, I will say, because there is something that's really beautiful about having guidance and accountability and support and somebody to go, hey, this is what came for me. I don't know, that was really hard last night. This was crazy. This is something that I kind of want to process or download with you. And that's helpful to have. Now, you have your friends for that, and you also have other people that you can do that with, right? So I always want you to be thinking about people when we're on these calls, that if you can make a little accountability buddy checklist of names of people that you could talk to, and maybe let them know, this is a goal that I have. I've been wanting to lose weight. I'm really in it to win it. The holidays are here. I want to look damn good come January 1st, come December, and I don't want to wait another minute. I really could use some extra love and support. There's some things that, I might just have some awarenesses and other things of that nature that I just would like to share, because there will be things. If you've been struggling with your weight for more than a year, it's not a weight issue that you have. You have a relationship with food and a lack of a relationship with yourself. And that lack of a relationship with yourself, as harsh as that sounds, and I have so many people that are like, that's not true, right? And then we get into working together, or they hear more or read more of my blogs or videos, and then they're like, oh, okay, I got what you were saying. Because I know firsthand, I can say, oh my God, I totally loved me. What do you mean? I love me? I didn't love me. I loved me on conditions. And I did not love me unconditionally. I loved me when I looked good, when I fit into my size 2s, when I was happy, when my weight was, generally it all had to do with weight. When I looked good, looked good. Take that away, and no, I found fault with myself over and over and over again. Very easily. I was the first person to point the finger at myself. Oh, it must be my fault. Yeah, no, I must have done that. When I would not, it was never my fault. Not never, but there were so many times that I took blame for things and fault, like overly accountable. I love how I just said it was never my fault. It was definitely my fault a few times, but there were a lot of times that it wasn't, where I would just sit there and not use my voice. I would take a back seat and I'd be like, oh yeah, that must have been, yeah, okay. And it was all about a lack of love for myself. And when I say lack of love, I didn't see that I was worthy and deserving. I wasn't my biggest advocate. I wasn't like, yeah, I'm a badass. What? Instead like I said, I was the first person to point the finger at myself. Who can relate to me? Who's a sorry person? Who's the person that always says, I'm sorry, apologizes for everything, has a hard time using their voice, but at the same time, always wants to seem happy, like they have it all together, even though they're usually not feeling like they're good enough, smart enough, pretty enough, thin enough. Usually pretty and thin are both in the stylish enough. Anything with the exterior, anything that has to do with our appearance, because that, I know that was me. And so coping with my emotions, it's so true when they say that love cures all, that it's the answer to everything. It is. As I said earlier, there are two main human emotions, love and fear. When we're operating from love, we are so grounded in our worth. Even when the craziest, most awful things are going on in your life, you're still like, it's all for my highest good. And there's a level of peace and a serenity and a trust even in the darkest of times. This must be to bring me higher. I don't know why these things happen, but I know that there's a gift here somewhere. There's this level of love. That's love, right? It's not, what did I do to bring this on myself? It's all my fault. All these things. It's not pointing the finger at you. It's not blaming you. It's not pointing the finger at somebody else. It's not playing victim. It's allowing yourself to love you under all conditions. Full unconditional love. And it is such a beautiful thing, and it takes time to get there. But when you do, you are your best friend, your biggest fan, your most amazing level of support, and everything in your life changes because you come from love for everything. So it's not that you're changing other people. It's not that, oh my God, you went and everything in your life changed overnight. But you changing changes the way everybody responds to you, changes the way you experience everything. And all of a sudden, the lens on the glasses that you look through in life, because we all have different lenses, and we all have different pieces of ourselves that come forward at different times, the whole lens shifts. So all of a sudden, the home you couldn't stand becomes your favorite place. And all of a sudden, the job that you hated is one that you appreciate, you know, or supports you in creating your dream career. All of a sudden, the relationship you had that's falling apart shifts, and you guys go to a place that it's never been before, and it's better than ever, you know, or the relationship that you're desiring for the first time, there's just people are a magnet to you, right? Everything can shift, and the lens that we look through shifts. Now, how does this relate to food, and how does this relate to coping and eating our emotions? When you feel like shit, you treat yourself like shit. And what do? You eat shit. I'm sorry to be crass, but it works in the context of what I'm talking about. That's really what happens. When you feel like crap, and you'll talk to yourself like crap, you will treat yourself like crap. And when we get treated like crap, then we think we deserve more crap, and we go and we eat things that we know, right, aren't going to feel good in the long run, but they're going to help us in the immediate. They're going to give us that instant soothing, that level of release, that, oh my God, just numb me out and take me away from the pain and from this life that I'm living. And often what I find so much from the women in my communities and from my programs is that so much of what's been challenging in their lives, they've placed on themselves. I did this too. It's placing a lot of responsibilities. I asked them a question, you know, how much of what you don't want, or like out of your tasks, out of your things in a day, your to-do list, how many of those have you put on yourself versus are they being asked of you? How many of the tasks and the things that we have on our plate have we put on ourselves as opposed to them being asked of us or even necessary? You know, and so as my clients would always go, oh my God, I'm doing so many things, because one, we operate as superwomen. And then two, if you're a perfectionist, so as superwomen, we're like, I do all things. I do them perfectly. I look like I'm a Victoria's Secret model as I do them. I never complain. I'm always happy. Everything's perfect, right? And inside you're like, oh my God, somebody just take me to the spa and put me out for 5 days, right? So, and as a perfectionist and a controller, asking for help is not your first language. Asking for help, and better yet, receiving compliments, receiving support, it's like not even in your vernacular, right? It's like, what? She wants me to, what did they, I can't ask that. No. Also, there's also a part of your ego. They can't do it better than me. I need to do it. Only I can do it. So there's a lot of excess pressure that's unnecessary that is placed upon you that's depleting. No one can operate like that all the time. Why do you think men just can keep going and going and going? One, they're single focused. Two, they can only do one thing at a time. And three, they don't offer things really unless it's like a very obvious thing, right? They're not like, oh my God, let me do that. Women are just like, yeah, I can do that. Oh no, it's no problem. I'm only making 10 other casseroles, but sure, what's another one? Like it's time to stop that, because it's not serving you, it's hurting you. And it's actually one of the things that's having you turn to food, especially around the holidays. All of this, I don't say no, And, I don't say no to anything. I yes everything. Yes to all social invitations. Yes to this. Yes to that. Yes to my kids. Yes to my husband. Yes to my family. Yes to my in-laws. It's too much. There's no way you can do it and enjoy the holidays. This season, this entire masterclass is about you taking care of you. And this is what we're going to be doing in the Done with Dieting live event. It's about you coming home to you. It's about you speaking your truth, finding out what that is. Who are you? What do you want? Because you not knowing that, you not stepping forward is actually one of the primary things that has you continuing to turn to food. See, where our soul isn't fed. You were born with a dream. You were born with desires. Every time one got squashed, where you didn't allow it or permit it or said, we're not good enough for it, or we can't do that, we don't deserve. No, your soul's still sitting there going, this is still in me and I'm not going anywhere. And that's why you've had specific dreams that have been with you your whole life. They're not going to leave until you do something about them. They're not. And that's, what's awesome about that? That means it's meant for you. That means it's meant for you. So it's about how can we step into our greatness? The more you step into your greatness, the less you'll want the food. The more you live life, the more fun you're having, the more you're seizing life, the less you'll want the food. You want the food because you're depriving yourself of life. You're depriving yourself of play, of pleasure, of fun, of receiving. And anybody that has a life that's built on responsibility, accountability to everyone else but you, stress and being perfect, girl, that is exhausting. None of that fosters what is the female, what is the goddess, what is the queen. In Weight Loss for Life, everyone is called a queen, right? We actually learn how to be queens. What do queens do? Queens speak their truth. Queens command power. Queens know their worth. Queens dress and feel beautiful, and they wear beautiful clothes. They honor their hunger. They eat when they're hungry, and they only eat beautiful food, and they sit down and they take their time. Queens are respected, and most of all, they respect themselves. Queens have something to say, and they say it. Queens are powerful, right? That's who the women are in our Weight Loss for Life group, right? So they're my private clients that come in. It's so epic. It's insane. They're amazing, right? And if you're here, that's your soul's desire, right? So what is it within you that's wanting something, that's wanting to be seen, that's wanting to feel heard, that's wanting to be loved, that's wanting a hug? When we want food, we really want love, attention, a hug, to be told it's all going to be okay, to be told we're awesome, that we're magical, and so is life, and everything's working out for us. And you know what that means? That means there's pieces in you that doubt all of that, that need that are deprived that are depleted in those areas. Those pieces, that's all they want. They need to hear that from you. Food has, and in those moments, in particular around the holiday season, becomes your coping mechanism for everything. You're stressed, so you grab food. You don't even know that you're eating it. You're just trying to do 50 million things at once. You're at holiday parties, right? You're feeling whatever you're feeling there. So you're either scarfing down food or not wanting to in a certain way have a few glasses of wine, then you're in a corner, right? So there's all these different scenarios, and we're going to go into that in social situations. But right now, what I want you to identify is how much you need to be your own best friend. And in the process of how to cope with your emotions so you don't eat your emotions, compassion is the number one thing. Write that down. You have to have compassion, because you cannot expect to just hear what I'm saying and to not eat. You cannot expect that all of a sudden you're going to have that, because what's going to happen is 1 week you're going to do great, or a few days, and then one day you're going to go back to your old way of being. Something's going to come up, and then it's going to upset you, and you're going to go, I can't believe I just did that. It just was so good all week. We want to take the words good and bad out. You are not good, you are not bad because of something you ate. It's food. Okay? It does not define who you are, neither does your weight. Really hear me on that. Okay? Write down food equals fuel. I want you to start thinking of the foods that you eat and what you need to be fueled all day. This doesn't mean that they don't taste good, but what do you need to fuel you? What do you need to have energy to get to the next thing you have to do? Because that's really what food's meant to do. It's meant to get you from A to B. It's not supposed to bloat you. It's not supposed to have you craving things. It's not supposed to get you tired. You're not supposed to want to lay down. Food's not the highlight of your life. You are. Let me say that again. Food is not the highlight of your life. You are. Food is not the star of the show. You are. It's your life. You choose how it plays out. You choose what you look like and how you feel. Every choice that you make, and please focus on the small wins over the big gains. The small wins will give you the lasting results for life. The big gains go like this. Instead, do small wins, small wins, small wins. All of a sudden you're here and you go, wow, I have a big gain. Yeah, because of all these things. And you know what? When you do it that way, you're forever changed. The other one, you go up and down. I lost weight, I gained weight. I lost weight, I gained weight. I lost weight, I gained weight. But you're never actually changing in here. The 30-day challenges, 60-day challenges. Look, I transformed my whole body. Yeah, I did it too. Gain weight back. Unless you fix this and this. Okay? The work that I do with my clients, and the women in Weight Loss for Life can attest to this. It's really, hear this. There's a saying. What is it? As I'm about to tell you it. The issues get stuck in the tissues. Your issue gets stuck in your tissue, meaning you actually have to transform on a cellular level, because it's true and it's scientifically proven that our cells hold memory. So when you have an experience with yourself, when you have a belief about who you are, that's in your cells. The work that I do with my clients is really about changing you on a cellular level, because that's how you truly change. And that's when your body, that's when you start just looking to, and people are like, what did you do? What are you doing? Did you get Botox? Like, what's happening? Yeah. And you just start shifting. And it doesn't help that you're insanely happy in the process, right? But it makes a big difference. So really understand that in the process, love is compassion. Always think of yourself as a little girl standing in front of you. Would what you say to yourself be what you'd say to your own daughter or best friend? And if the answer is no, then start writing in a journal the things that you want to say to yourself, the actual negative things, and rewrite them after you write them down. Say something opposite out loud. That's how we retrain our subconscious mind. That's how we change on the cellular. Okay? That's one way. So let's talk about social situations. So again, we're going to go into some tactical things. So when we're talking about social situations, from cocktail parties, holiday parties, I'm going to kind of lump this together because there's so many different social situations. So first and foremost, sugar will always get you to want more sugar. It just will. Be very weary of just sitting and starting off your day with sugar. If you've ever noticed, when you have something sweet for breakfast, you'll crave sweet throughout the day, even if it's just fruit. It's what you start your palate with for the day. That's why I always tell people to start off with protein, okay? Sugar will always get you. Alcohol will always derail you. It will take you from feeling really like standing tall in your convictions with your intentions and wanting to eat in a good way and wake up the next morning. Alcohol will always derail you. It just will. So choose it wisely. Know when you're going into those situations. Know what the next day is going to look like. Be aware of the food situation, how hungry you are, all of that. Okay? Don't let one bad night, one bad day, 1 week, and I'm just using the terms bad because I know it's still weird how you speak. Don't let what you would consider bad, where you overate or something of that nature, or cheated, I hate the term cheating because I don't believe in it, but day or week take you away from your goals. Just like anything else, you have to keep getting back up and getting back up and getting back up and getting back up. Right? That's where compassion is key. Really, really as we come up on the holidays, be cautious to stay out of the dieter's mentality. The dieter's mentality is, don't eat a lot because you're going to this party tonight, or don't eat a lot because you're going to have this dinner, or I'm going to try to eat before I go, and then you end up having 2 dinners. So you eat because you don't want to be hungry, but then you go and then you end up overeating there because there's so many things that look delicious to you. Trust yourself in these situations. Easier said than done. I know trust is a big thing, but really, again, pay attention to the dieter's mentality and what's coming in here, and really what you're choosing to do and how that's working for you. The dieter's mentality, again, can derail you just as strong because it's very black and white, and life is lived in the gray. And so is play and pleasure, and so are the holidays. Okay, guys? When we're looking at buffets, pay attention, really look for protein and fats, right? So that's nuts, that's cheeses, that's shrimp, shrimp cocktail, that's chicken skewers, look for your protein, your deviled eggs, things of that nature, as opposed to going right for pastries, anything deep fried, or the cheesy dips and the high fat dips, right? We want to steer clear of the processed, go more for the clean. The clean is the crudité, the vegetables, the fruit, like I said, the skewers, anything grilled, anything that's not fried. And again, another really, really important tip, and this is for whether you're home, whether you're visiting family, whether you're going to cocktail parties, stay out of the room with all the food, whether that's the kitchen or whether that's in somebody's house or whether that's at a party or, again, a corporate event or whatever it is. Stay away from the area where all the food lives, because you will naturally keep going up to it and you will end up nibbling and getting plate after plate, and that's not what you want. Now, for every drink, have water in between. For every drink, have water in between, okay? Also, well, I'll go into that. Hold on one second. So like I said, protein over fats, and also just give yourself a limit. You get 2 small plates, right? For the foods that I'm not a believer in dieting, right? So there's some things that look pretty damn good when you go to these things, right? Well, here's the thing. They might look great, but they don't actually always taste great. I'm a big proponent of the mindset of, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. So just for the things that are high fat, high calorie, but they look delicious and you're like, I just want to try a few, put small bites. Don't get large portions of any of that. Tastes. We just want to do a small plate, right? A saucer size of tasters. And then you just want to taste and listen. If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. Put it back down, throw it out, whatever it is, spit it in your napkin in a feminine, beautiful way. I've done that so many times, but don't waste the calories and other things. And when I say that, just truly, why put something in your body that doesn't taste great? You want it to taste great, because everything that you eat, everything that you think impacts how you look and how you feel. So only put the best in your body. It is a temple, and it is the only one that you've got. Only put the best in there. The other tip that I always love is bring your own healthy dish. If you have no idea what they're bringing or what's going to be there, and you don't know if it's stuff that's, especially if you have dietary restrictions and allergies and other things of that nature, bring your own dish or a few. No one's ever going to turn you down. not unless they have everything fully catered and they have this particular look. And even then you can just say, hi, I was just curious, you know, I'm gluten-free, or I don't eat meat, or I don't, you know, is there going to be anything there of that nature? I just want to, you know, I just want to know if I should eat beforehand, right? Or also, I'd love to bring something. Is there anything that I can bring? Okay, then you always have something. Or you can just bring your own thing, and if they, you know, and do with it as they will, and if they don't put it out, then it's all yours and you get to bring it home too. Okay, and then the other one that I said is, again, make sure to stay out of the kitchen. Now, the last thing that we wanted to talk about is movement. Movement is your best friend. So what is the best way to lose weight and to have fat loss and to tone up your body? And it's going to be daily movement, moving as often as you can when you can. Guys, honestly, it's so true. My lady loves here, my queens. We are a very sedentary culture. We honestly, most people drive to work, sit, drive home, and sit again until they go to bed. Or they work out in there somewhere for anywhere from 30 minutes to 1 hour, and that's it. But they still drive to work, drive home, or they work from home, and their level of movement is limited. So the more that you can move, the better. The more that you can take the stairs, the more that you can park further away, the more that you can have a standing desk or walk during meetings. You know, things of that nature is really going to help you. The other thing that you want to do is incorporate weights. Weights are going to be your best friend for everything here. Weights are not only going to help to create lean muscle, but they're going to build muscle. When you build muscle, actually you burn more calories than you do doing regular cardio. Cardio, your calories stop burning when you are done. So when you hop off the elliptical, you're done. When you hop off the bike, you're done. When you get out of the pool, you're done. But when you're weightlifting, you're burning calories hours, up to 4 hours after the class, after the fact, after you did weight training on your own. That's really beautiful and really powerful. What else does this do? It strengthens muscles. As we age, our muscles get weaker. And as our estrogen production of estrogen and progesterone and testosterone decrease, you'll notice it. What do weights do? One, they help you feel strong it helps you feel so strong in your body. Mentally, you feel like you can do anything. It will reshape your body more quickly than any other workout I've ever seen. You can lift heavy or lift light, but lifting weights will work. So here's the deal. If you want to have more of a ballerina type body, which everybody might say that they want to be honest, women have this whole thing that they bulk. I'm going to bulk. I'm going to bulk. You know your body, but generally speaking, it's really hard to really bulk up. So what I want to tell you is, if you're lifting heavies, what's going to actually change your body composition more quickly than anything else. If you don't want to lift heavy and you have 3 pound, 5 pound, 10 pound weights at home, then what I would tell you to do is do a lot of reps in low weights. That's actually going to help to bring your muscles to atrophy. What does atrophy means? It really means that it's breaking through muscle tissue so that your muscles can actually build. So you can either do that in 5 to 8 reps of heavy weight, or anywhere from 20 reps of lightweight to 50 reps to 100 reps. You'll see trainers like Tracy Anderson, you know, that does 3 pound weights, but she'll do 100 reps, you know, of a lateral raise, right? Please don't follow her eating plans for anything, because it's not really much of an eating plan. It's like 500 calories. But, so I'm not a proponent of that. But her workouts are interesting. So if that's something that you're into, and, you know, depending on where you are, but if you're sitting there going, because I used to be an Ideal Body coach and I was a fitness competitor, I transformed my body in 5 months, and it was honestly through lifting heavy. Obviously, yes, diet and different things. I'd never eaten that much in my life. I'd never eaten that much protein, and I was constantly eating, but I was also working out like a fanatic. Like, you know, at the end of it, it was like 4 hours a day. So when I say that to you, when I then went into ideal body coaching, and I would work with women of all ages to transform their bodies, and women that would come to me and go, I want to take the stage, I'm 50, and you can transform your body. And like I said, weight training, it's something that women shy away from because, it's always been the men's game, and you're seeing a resurgence, just a huge shift in that in the past 5 years. When I competed, it was hard to even find a trainer that helped with that and even know what shows to do. Now it's like such the norm, and it's everywhere. So weight training will really do that for you. So with weight training, the other thing that I want to tell you to do is, and Curves Gym does things like this, where it's circuit training with weights. Why are circuits so great is because it keeps your heart rate up, and you're doing compound movements. So compound movements are another great way to really see fat loss and to see muscle gains and really reduce your size. So you will lose inches by weight training. Cardio, cardio helps. Obviously it helps. When you compare the two, that's really wonderful. But if you're limited on time, I'm going to always tell you to weight train and to do circuits and to do mini circuits, right? Because that's really going to support you. It keeps your heart rate up continually. You're challenging yourself, and you're going to notice mentally that you'll feel stronger than ever, because you're going to see your body transforming, but you're also going to feel your mental thoughts transforming. What I tell people to do, and my biggest tip for you with this, is take a few positive affirmations. Like, I love myself, I love my body, I'm perfect exactly as I am, or I'm incredible, I'm amazing, I have everything I've ever desired, or I'm in optimal health, I'm stronger than ever, every day in every way. I become, better and better. I'm more at peace and in love with myself than ever before. Whatever speaks to you. I lose weight easily, quickly, and effortlessly. Every day I get stronger, and I see that my body transforming before my eyes. So as you're saying these things, I'm happy, I love myself, anything positive. I love my life. Even if you hate your life right now, I love my life, or I met the love of my life and I've never been happier. Repeat these affirmations as you're going through your workout. So, just go and download a circuit training workout for women. Just go on, Google it. 50,000 things will come up, right? And what you can do, anybody that register for this, I'll send you guys a workout to start. So I will do that. That will be in an email, because I don't know which one it's going to be yet, but it will be an email replay. And just so you can do that. So that will be in the email with the replay. But also you can Google workouts and just go and do it. And as you do it, repeat the affirmations. There is so much proven scientifically about shifting our relationship to ourselves and our bodies by affirming what it is we want, and actually attracting that into us when we add movement to that. So when we add movement with positive affirmation, it is beautiful. And the transformations that occur are priceless. And you will notice that your mindset will change very, very quickly from being able to do that. So with that, I just wanted to tell you guys again, I'm so excited to have you here. I hope that you found this extremely helpful. I know we went through a lot in a short period of time, but it's all here to support you. I really thought about the exact things that I really wanted to speak to, what are some nuggets that I could give you, and how you can take them and apply them today with tactical tips, and also give you some deeper understanding around this, and actually put you into action so that you can reap the benefits. So again, I just want to tell you, if you are here, then you have the opportunity to come to Done with Dieting Live. It's taking place in San Diego. It is only $97. The link is right here again. And we are just so excited. Space is limited, so please go and grab your seat. I would love to meet you. We're going to be diving in even deeper. This event is for anybody that's really ready to take their life, their body, their weight to the next level, and finally release that weight and really get clear on what's been blocking them and what's standing in the way of where they are now and the life that they want to be living, the person that they want to be, and the body that they want to be having. That's what we're going to be doing. So I hope that you'll join me. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be transformational, and literally created just for you guys. So thank you so much for being here tonight. You will get a replay. I love you all, and I will be with you soon. Bye, guys.